It's a journey, y'all. It's called The Journey Within. That's what my friend said to me. She said,
Genius.
there's no greater journey than the journey within.
Yo, Spirit was like, nah, my G, we're gonna start this video just like this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so guys, as always, welcome. This is another episode of the Daily Spread where we take the journey within and we are led. It's your host doing the most, G3E, the one and only. Thank you, God, angels, guardians, and ancestors for wishing us well, and in the highest vibration of love we dwell. Hey. Welcome, gang. So yeah, we're back in the kitchen, we're cooking up. As you know, this season is about impact. It's about, doing the absolute most, having a difference, actually, I feel like I need to turn down the volume. Give me 1 second. Ooh, so interesting. I posted literally at 101. So it's like 1-1, moving in unison or moving in balance. And moving in balanced. So not just balanced, we are already balanced. We're already moving ahead, right? So let me just get some more lights up in here. Hopefully that makes it a little bit better. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a beautiful and amazing day. So yeah, just following from the previous reading. So what happened is, I'm always late. I just like do these crazy things here, and I'm so fortunate that Spirit is here to just support and aid the mission. So yeah, so I'm shuffling the deck. I'm just like putting it away and stuff, and then it's like, yo, we got something else we want to tell you. So I'm like, all right, okay, cool, bet. So I've got a pre-pull here. I've got 2 cards pulled out and 2 oracle cards from this deck that I was using. Sparks Creative Magic Game, it's what it's called. But yeah, it just speaks to creativity, about dreams and stuff. And even if you haven't seen the previous reading, don't stress. I think, whatever finds you is for you. It's just a kind reminder that these messages are for the collective 218. I think that's relevant as well. Could be like the 18th of February or something. But yeah, I don't know. For the person who is relevant for, it will be relevant. 115, could be also the 5th of November or the 11th of May, something like that. But yeah, or 1114 as well. I mean, that's today's date. So anyway, and it, what, it doesn't matter even when this reading is received or when you get it, when I post it, because I feel energy is universal. It's, everlasting. It will find you when it needs to find you. What's that great saying in science where they say energy is neither created or destroyed but only transferred from one form to another? But then again, science is just one way of explaining it, but energy is universal. It lasts, it's everlasting, you know what I mean? But when it finds you, I believe that's when it's meant to find you. So yeah, anyways, like I was saying, I was putting the deck away, but as I was shuffling, some other cards came out. So we have one here about permission. And on the permission side, it says, what if we all walked around letting loose the wonders inside of us, right? And on the other side, it speaks about asking and receiving. So I'm gonna just try to put it there so you can see it, but it's written in this person's handwriting. And it says, most of us are much better givers than receivers. We often block receiving or fear of being thought of as too needy. Creative dreams are very receptive to receiving, even if we are not. Wow. That's crazy. And mind you, when I pulled these cards out, I wasn't like, okay, read them. I just felt like I need to read them here on camera, 416. And in the block it says, explore what your creative dream could receive that will benefit it. Describe how you can increase your experiences of receiving. Interestingly, here I am talking about energy, and if the energy is timeless, the readings and messages are timeless, then also the energy work is timeless, because there's an exchange of energy that's taking place. when I think of, let's say, like a creation, let's say like with a man and a woman, there's a seed and, the liquids coming together and stuff like that, you know. And it's even like getting an answered prayer. It's like you put out your prayer into the universe, and then the universe comes back down and answers your prayer in whichever form it is, depending on what you were praying about. But I'm also getting, the act of you putting some energy out and then being open to receiving energy. I think oftentimes there's maybe an imbalance. Again, we're talking about the number twos and 522. I just saw on the timer about how we might be maybe very good at giving or asking, but then we don't create the room or have the capacity to receive, or we're always taking, we're always receiving, but we're not giving enough. So I think that is being brought to attention in the sense of like, how can we actually do both, ask and receive? So it's like a two-way street, go and come back. And interestingly, it's wow, my nose is just going off right now, guys. This is being clocked. We sniffing this thing out, like, yo, we coming through. How interesting, like, the number twos have been coming through so much. I mean, previous reading as well, and with this one as well, I just saw 612 on the timer. And here we have two cards, two cards with the number two, the Two of Wands and the Two of Cups. Like, guys, I can't make this shit up. Granted, it's a pre-poll, and somebody might be like, yeah, no, look, I didn't plan this. I really just pulled out these cards and they came out like this. And, when I think about what it's speaking to, the asking and the receiving, it's like, here you are sitting here at this table, making your plan, following a blueprint, creating a routine, creating a discipline for yourself to follow. And that is you now asking or putting your intention out into the universe because your desire was to manifest it. When I even think about what the Two of Wands is, it's like you now, firstly, from the first wand or Ace of Wands, you have your strength, you have your power, or you've started to use your ability. But now to expand on that, to bring it into balance, you realize that you have to have set intention. You have to have a mission as to how you want to put this power into use, into manifestation. And I mean, this is us being the greatest magicians that we can be, right? And here on this side with the Two of Cups, this speaks to now the receiving part. I mean, look at these two people together. They are both helping each other drink. But then at the same time, it's, speaking to that balance again, working with the universe, working with your partner, your children, your boss, your colleagues, your employees, your peer at school, whoever it is. I mean, you would know in terms of your situation what you need to do. Could even be you and your higher self, you and your younger self, however you want to look at it. But it's like, this exchange is going to take place and bring about, some emotional fulfillment or some kind of satisfaction because there's been an equal exchange. It's reciprocal. It's like, oftentimes we think that the things that we need to receive need to be like, we need to give something of equal value. So it's like, if I'm saying I want a dog, it doesn't mean that I have to give up something that's as valuable or as, of the same size, of the same magnitude as a dog. Just my intention alone, or the energy that I put into the request, is big enough for me to manifest or attract what it is that I'm seeking to attract, right? So this could be anything that you want: a relationship, a house, a car, a new place of residence, whatever it is, right? You fill in the blank. You want, yes, blank. And now it's a matter of saying, however big, however crazy that dream is for whatever that thing is, confirmation birthday, can you make sure that your intention or your focus or your plan, your discipline, your follow through, your blueprint or your desire to manifest it is as great as what it is that you're asking for, because it's going to need you to be persistent and stick through with this thing as well. So, I mean, to think, the wands are very much about fire, the cups are very much about water. Again, here's fire and water. There's a balance coming through. I'm feeling all these shivers around me right now. That's so crazy. It's like, again, you can balance these things out. You can have the yin and the yang. And look at this, the manifestation symbol, or the infinity sign, is above the head. So it all starts in your mind. The mind is what connects the earth and the spirit. So if you can get your mind right, you can get almost everything. In fact, you can get everything right. Spirit's correcting me right now, because the mind is the bridge, the mind is the connection. I'm even being drawn to how on these lines here of the wands, it's like it's creating this open channel, and you creating a space to receive these messages, to receive these downloads. I mean, here I am in my kitchen on my table, and you might be receiving downloads in the car, you might be receiving downloads in the shower, when you get into the library, when you're sitting on your bed. But there is this particular place or space that you can go to that will help you be a clear channel, where you can focus on setting your sights on the world, on the things that you want to do. And now just look at how the universe, with that light from the background coming forward, it's like what you had thought about and manifested on your head, or brought about in the mind with your thoughts and your thinking, which are different, by the way. Definitely think about that. But now that was like almost like the seed, and now it brought this forward, this reciprocal energy, this equal or even exchange, where you and the universe are working in tandem. I think this is very powerful, very beautiful. And again, asking and receiving, right? What was the call to action here? It says, explore what your creative dream could receive that could benefit it. So again, with that channel, it's like, things are coming down, the download. So you thinking like, damn, I'm trying to make this plan. This is my dream. What could actually benefit this thing? And then you receive that. We need to recognize and also realize that we are creating heaven on earth. So here's the earth, and the heaven is above. So it's like downloads, these messages, these pieces of information, these ideas, these hints of intuition, these communications are coming in. So it's about being aware, paying attention, and trusting our intuition, and then realizing that it is an even exchange. It's because we made ourselves the right vessels to receive, to open ourselves up to this. It's crazy how I'm like looking at this as almost like a dome, or like a circle, or like some type of a stage as well. So I'm getting something about you being elevated or being put onto a platform where now you can participate in this exchange with spirit. You know what I mean? So I think that's very powerful, and yeah, I wish you all the best. I think this is really dope. Again, things are coming into balance. You might also just be getting, your divine counterpart at this time, or again, just being able to balance the masculine and the feminine within you. I mean, just as I said right now, my thigh bum area got a little bit itchy, so it's like, it's time to move, bruh. It's time to like take action, like get some pep in your step. You know what I mean? So it's time to do the most right there. Describe how you can increase your experiences of receiving. How do we open ourselves up to this energy and make way for it to actually like take residence, like ground it ultimately, have it take shape and form. Okay, on this side I have the King of Swords in reverse, as well as the Sun. I was about to start with the message, and again, this one's permission. Again, we're moving 2 by 2, gang. I was gonna start with this one, and this one says to be successful, but Spirit's like, nah, let's actually start over here. Interestingly, when I saw the Sun, like I could feel the energy coming. Like, when I was shuffling this deck, I could just feel like, there's something really bright right now. This, even with me turning on these lights, it's like, bro, we got the salt lamp over here as well. So it's like, man, just turn on the light. Turn on the lights. I gotta listen to that song by Future. Actually, let me just write it down so I don't forget this for later. But, gang, man, we have to be happy, man. Where is the light? Can we turn on the light in our hearts, in our minds, in our spirit? Because, I mean, just look at this person here in the Sun card. It's like, oh, damn. Okay, and we got to be careful as well. And not knock things out. But yeah, we're knocking things out the park, right? Because that's what the light does. It's like it illuminates everything. Anything that is not serving or anything that is of the dark will be exposed, will be illuminated, right? But anyways, this, like I was saying, this person is on fire, you know, like what is setting you on fire? What is that light within you? And it starts within you and it spreads outwards, right? And you are the sun, you too are the star. I mean, you can elevate, you can expand, you can bring light, you can, wow, bring warmth. I'm just thinking about fire right now. So it's like the fire within as well. It's like it's been like heating up, heating up, heating up. Oh, I need to remember my tea over there. You know, and it's like it's heating up and you are happy. This is the happiest card in the whole deck. This is the most abundant card in the whole deck. And I mean, we're about to talk about being successful, right? And we were talking about how just now with the previous card about how, you know, it starts in the mind. And I mean, with the King of Swords in reverse and the sword speaking to intelligence, wisdom, you know, truth, lies, you know, things that occupy our headspace. This is a greater level of discernment that we need to apply, guys. It's like being the king, it's like you are the ruler of the mind, and it's like you are no longer going to shy away from being the ruler of the mind, especially if it's something that's going to lead you to shining bright, to spreading your light, to being the most abundant, the most happy, the most opulent, the most, you know, like free, you know, version of you. I'm even getting something childlike, you know, like, you know, the people that you can be your inner child around, you know, just the ones that bring out the light in you, the brightness in you, the, you know, the hope, the joy, the in you, man. It's like that's what's coming through. It's just, it's so light, it's so loving, it's yeah, man, it's just beautiful. Honestly, my voice is just like cracking there, my ears going off. There's just like a lot of things happening right now, but I'm also just getting that it's a release, you know. You know what you need to speak, what you need to hear, what you need to take responsibility for. But then also you also need to listen. So again, here's that exchange coming through, you know. It's like you're gonna listen, you're gonna speak, and practicing discernment. I mean, just look there with the hammer, with the gavel, you know, and then with the scales there on the sword being in reverse. It's like if it's an injustice, if it's not balanced, which is what the theme is over here in this reading clearly, if it's not balanced, then you're going to clock this thing and then apply the right mental action, you know, the right discernment to determine, is this actually helping me be the sun? Is this good? Because if it's good, it's God, right? Like we aligning with the light, and if it's not for that, then we got to dip, you know. And here I am even just being drawn to my rings right now. It's like this particular ring that I have over here, it's, you know, it's two rings together, and it speaks to about like grounding energy, because the one, it's the main ring, and there's a ring around that ring. So it's like you're gonna encapsulate things, put things into their places ultimately. Oh wow, Spirit's like just coming through with something else right now. But it's like even these two rings, it's like it's a gold ring and a silver ring. So that's the silver ring. Wow. It's like I'm even getting something about knighting as well. And it's like something is like changing over time, you know. It's like where it appeared as one, it's like it's changing shape, it's changing form, and it's moving over time, because this one does move as well. I'm not even sure if you guys can see that it's moving, but that's actually what it does right over here. And yo, man, wow. Ooh, these messages are beautiful. Like, guys, there's this integration that's taking place, or things coming into balance because they were not in balance. And I think the wonderful thing that's happening here is that these things are being shown to us, or shown to you. And you know, if I just think about what that card was saying, that we are being successful, our success comes from making the right decisions, the right investments, taking the time to see what is going to be the most bright, yield the best outcomes, be the happiest, most abundant outcomes, right? So let's not forsake our ability to think and have positive thought. And look at that eye over there, you know, like, let's think about the higher chakras right now. So it's like from throat, third eye to the crown. it's like, let's not forsake what visions, ideas that we have. And I mean, this deck is speaking to creativity, right? Creativity is an expression of who we are on a spiritual level. It's our way to honor the divine as well as the divine communicates through and to us. So yeah, that feels like a download that's, coming through very strongly right now. But yeah, like this one says here, to be successful, this means to me, or it's weird, I read it as this means to be me. Like, I think we're all creative, and it's actually tapping into our true selves, because what are we here to do, right? We are here to learn where we came from, learn why we're here, and learn where we're going. But once we've learned, we express, we share that. But yeah, it says here, to be successful, this means to me to be creatively of use to myself and the world. As creative dreams grow and develop, success may come to you in new ways. Your enthusiasm for success is a magnet for more. Wow, 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 wow. That's so powerful. With all that red text over there, we're speaking to how this energy is being grounded. And I mean, with this, even speaking to being a magnet for more, it's like the energy that we house, the energy that we embody is what's going to attract more energy into the place, into the space. And I think that's very powerful. It's like, if you align with love, if you align with gratitude, you are now attracting those very same energies as well. So if you are enthusiastic about your success, about you being the sun, right, and you not forsaking that, because I mean, enthusiasm is a choice. So it's in your mind, you choose this thing, and then here you are being the sun, super bright, embodying all the light, and you ultimately are going to attract it. And here we were speaking to, asking and receiving. And with these two cards, it's like you don't know how it's going to come through, but you just have to trust that it's going to be an even exchange with the universe, and knowing that it's going to just grow and develop. There are 2 words, 2 cards, 2 of wands, 2 of cups, like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. We out here, gang. What do you do? Hey, the boy got to rhyme all the time. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I hope you're having a beautiful day where you're at. I hope you're having a beautiful day. But yeah, let's go. 215. And now we are 22 and 222 on the timer. But it says here, what is your definition of success? In what ways are you already successful? Did I not just say earlier on something about like delivered, or like deliver and delivered or something, but I said it in the same or both tenses, like present and past tense, because we are already successful. I'm successful, you're successful, and we just now need to ask ourselves, like it's saying, in which ways. We're successful in this day because we've been given it to us. So hey, we've been given a day, we've been given an opportunity to even receive this time that we're sharing together, this reading, our abilities, our capabilities to speak, to see, to hear, to breathe, like yo gang, to even dress, to drink tea, just to sit down, to have light, to have joy, to have wonder. 236, we in the 2-3 zone, and 2 times 3 is 6. We blessed because we are successful, because we can multiply. What? My boy, my girl, whoever you are. And you know what, that's me too, because I'm both masculine and feminine, just like we all are, however you identify in terms of your orientation. But we are all things, we are one, guys. But yes, what is your definition of success? Can it just be happiness for once? Can it just be to love ourselves? It doesn't have to be like what people perceive or want to impose on us, how they want to tell us, like, yeah, the more you have, the more successful you are. And there are some people like monks and stuff who have very little and they are content with that. So success is not always having, but sometimes it's being. Like, you being happy is success. You having joy or embodying joy, you being with your family, your friends, or being creative, doing what you love doing, that is success to you. So define what success is for you. And again, the question that made us pause the first time, in what ways are you already successful? So understand that you know, as much as we want to pursue things and always want to attain things, we can recognize what we have, and that's where the gratitude comes in, and now that brings in more, right? And then the last question is saying here, how could you increase your feelings of success with regards to your creative dreams? Wow. Let me read that again. How could you increase your feelings of success with regards to your creative dreams? You know, when I think about feelings and emotions and our dreams, it's like when you see yourself in the dream or living the dream, what does it feel like? And like you think, oh man, it feels like I'm riding a cloud. It feels like my bank account's got a bunch of zeros in it. And ultimately, when we see that thing, you know, like see your bank account with all the zeros, you see yourself flying to new destinations, you see yourself driving that car, you see yourself, you get it, right? You see yourself, fill in the blank. When you are in that mode or like visualizing this thing, what does it feel like? And I think that's what this card is also drawing us to. It's like, can we focus on that feeling? Because that's also part of manifestation. The moment we are able to zone in or hone in on this frequency, then it becomes so much more to receive it, because that's exactly what Spirit wants us to do over here, is that we set the intention, but now we live in it. It's all around us, it's within us, and then because we become an energetic match to it, it's because we are it, you know, we've become it ultimately. So I think that's very powerful. I'm getting all these shivers right now all my body, and I just looked at my plant there and it just like waved a little bit at me. Hey plant! And plants too are alive. So again, that's, oh wow, look at this coming through. That's actually how we are bringing success with regards to our dreams. It's like we making them alive, we giving them life, we putting life into them by putting the feelings into them, because we are making them real. Like inanimate objects like this remote can't feel anything, but if we are the greatest forms of magic, of imagination, of manifestation, and we bring our thoughts to reality, because again it starts in the mind, Spirit is dropping the idea in it, we make it fester, we cook it up, you know, we're cooking up the drip, we're cooking up here in our minds and our thoughts by putting feelings into it, and then boom, it appears in our reality in the earth, because we've commanded the earth. I'm also getting a reminder about the importance of fasting. And you know, fasting is the way that we command the earth. We command it to say, you know what, I'm so focused, I'm so zoned in on like what it is that I'm going to create or am creating, that it must obey, like reality must obey what it is that we are doing, what it is that we are bringing into fruition. I'm even getting like what I'm playing in the background, which I think is relevant to say right now, 2728, you know, 2728, things are in synchronicity, gang. My ears going off. Wow, so much is happening in this moment, goodness gracious. High frequency guru, like playing the subliminals, right? And there is a subliminal that speaks about like how we don't really need to do anything but just live in that state of being, of embodiment, of the feeling of the desire having already been achieved. So you know, I'm even being led to how the very first card that we pulled was a manifestation card with that infinity sign there. And you know, as we manifest, it's about us like tapping into that energy, like zoning in so much that we become it. You know, you are a wizard. You know, I've been thinking so much about playing Hogwarts Legacy. I started playing it and I didn't get back to it, but I want to get back to it again. But again, it will happen in its time when it needs to. But it's about, you know, being a wizard, learning, being in the school and like learning your ability, your capability. How do I use my wand? How do I cast this intention into being, into fruition? Because they just like, yo, I want to fly, boom. Yo, I want $1 million, boom. Like, you get it? I want to be happy, boom. So it's like you thought about this thing and you brought it into fruition. But again, for us to even be able to do that is because we are in this exchange, this energetic exchange with Spirit, right? So yeah, anyways, at the back of the deck, it is grudge. Oh wow. Look at that card just falling out. Guys, you saw that, right? But anyways, this one says time, and at the back of it, it says procrastination. So definitely let's not procrastinate. This card clearly wanted to be seen first. Many of us use time to procrastinate instead of experiencing completion. Procrastination is merely a habit that can be changed. The favorite word of procrastinators or procrastination is later. Shift to saying now more often. The gift of procrastination is more time. So utilize that time to experience more completions. Yo, finish that project, finish that idea, finish that book, finish that painting, finish that plan or that you business idea, business plan. I don't know what it is, you know what it is. Finish the task that you set out to do, because procrastination is preventing you or keeping you away from completing things. And you know that feeling of completion makes you feel so good. I did that, and celebrate your wins. Be kind to yourself, but don't be so laxed or relaxed that you keep pushing things for later. I think that's very important. And again, what does it say here? Time. Use your time wisely, gang. Use your time wisely. This guy on this card is saying, I don't have time to dream. What? That's crazy. I mean, if you don't have time to dream, maybe like some people say they don't dream at night, then you know what you need to start doing? Daydreaming. Dream during the day, because spirit wants you to be consciously dreaming. They want you to apply yourself in this dream, because that means that it's already here and you need to now bring it out. So if you're not dreaming at night, that means you need to daydream, guys, or gang. That's what I was about to say there. But anyways, it says describe one or more ways, because we're the gang, we're the troops, we're working together, with the energies as well. Describe one or more ways you're currently procrastinating with your creative dream. This gets it out of your head and into motion. Speak about this or make a list. Yeah, journaling is important. I mean, you just saw me. I had a thought about listening to a song later because it's something that came through. It's, it was part of this creative expression, what I'm doing right now. And putting it into the list or writing it down means now I don't have to wonder Flip, what did I say 31 minutes ago? I just thought 31, 41. Again, now from 27, 28, moving up in one number, 31 to 41 is like moving up 10. Guys, we could cover so much ground if we stop procrastinating. Yo, Spirit's cooking. And we cooking because we the gang. It's coming through. Wow. But anyways, I think that message is apt for this moment as well. But again, at the back of the deck, we have Grudge Island. You know how it speaks how no man is an island, and we have to work with people. We have to engage in certain things. But imagine being on a grudge island. It's like you are alone on this place, and you're the only one feeling harboring all this resentment and these negative emotions, or a grudge in this case. And I'm thinking this is a inability to let go, to detach from an experience, because that's what emotions are, right? It's past feelings that we hold on to, and that's what a grudge is. It's an emotion, and it's I'm gonna be upset about whoever did or said or didn't do or didn't say what I thought or that they did or expected or experienced, in your experience. But if we're gonna hold grudges, we are actually holding the place or the space where we should actually be receiving the love or the dream, the manifestation of what it is that we want, right? This equal exchange that we want to participate in. It's if you holding all these grudges or these negative feelings or emotions, how can you get love? How can you get emotional fulfillment, not only within yourself but with another as well? Make it make sense, gang. Make it make sense. But yeah, let's clock this thing. Let's take accountability. But it says here, Grudge Island. This is a place where everyone wears backpacks loaded with grudges and sifts through them to discuss all the ways things should be better, whereas it's in us to make them better, right? Grudges are obstacles to creative dreams. Yeah, no, let's not hold on to things that don't make sense, gang. I'm even thinking right now, there's somebody I need to speak to about something that we were doing together, and yeah, maybe that's just gonna help clear some energy there. 3:43 as well, I just saw on the timer. List or describe any grudges you currently have. How could your creative dreams benefit from the energy that might be going toward grudges? Ooh. wow, very apt to what we've just been discussing, right? And again, if we're trying to express, if we're trying to create, we need to clear that energy and allow space for the creation. I mean, your creation is like size 10, right? And then your grudge is 6. So that means you can only create up to 4. Like, what? I'm thinking about Brittany, this what intuitive cosmic wifey. What does she say? Like, there's this thing that she likes to say, like, goodness gracious. But it's about clocking stuff and like how things don't make sense. Like, make it make sense. But anyway, something along those lines. I haven't checked out any of her videos in a minute. But anyways, guys, if it doesn't make sense, yeah, check that out. Clock it one time. But anyways, list or describe, when it speaks to listing or describing, I think, we need to let the energy come out. We need to let the energy release. So if it's not spoken or it's written, I don't know, maybe you are a writer or a speaker, or, well, all of us write and all of us speak, but I don't know if maybe that's one of your gifts. Maybe that might be you. But yeah, if that is the case, then definitely speak to what it is that you need to do. Oh, here's my headband, we're getting things in a circle. So, again, the rings, guys, we're gonna close the loop, close the gap, because we're no longer procrastinating. And I'm thinking about an island as well, being like in a circle. Of course, it's not exactly a circle shape, but, you don't want to be stuck on that island, ultimately. And I moved my headband. So it's like you can move this island into now the greater continent, because that's how the world or islands were formed, right? They broke away from the bigger pieces of land. So it's like you can like form back, make new countries, make new creations. Wow. Wow. I didn't think that was going to come through like that. Anyways, at the back of the tarot deck, the third eye tarot deck, we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. And so fitting that this came up underneath the Grudge Island, because this means, the end of conflict, the end of like disagreements, competition, war as well. But it could also speak to, a fear of competitions and wars. So, maybe approaching these things that you view as like difficult conversations, competitions, grudges might have been difficult, but you are now, of course, or we are being challenged to look at this in a different way, to view it in a sense of like, this is actually taking up space for things that we need to do. I'm even thinking about another person that I work with, or a colleague. Well, whatever. We work at the same place. Let's just put it that way. And they are difficult. But you know what? I'm not going to hold a grudge against them. I also understand that as much as they are a reflection of me, and even grudges that I hold, like the first person that I mentioned that I think I need to speak to, well, I should speak to, they are perhaps also a reflection of like how I'm holding on to certain things in my own life, so wow, interesting. I didn't think Spirit was going to come through like that right now. Wow. But anyways, yeah, we need to let go of these grudges. I think this part, Spirit's using my own experiences as an example to help bring this message forward. But let's not allow the energy to be stagnant or to like fester for so long that we don't like resolve it and give room to the things that we are actually asking for and want to receive, right? So I think that's very powerful. And in this card, interestingly, it shows that the wands are broken over there, and it's like you are actually affecting the creative dream. You are affecting the ability to create and even to collaborate as well. I'm getting that with these two females, it's like being on one type of an energy. It's like the energy is imbalanced, where it's like it's not male female, but like it's also could be the feminine energies. Let's say it's me as the male, but in my feminine energy is in conflict or in competition with somebody else's feminine energy or another female. So it's like, how do we kind of bring order to the chaos? Yeah, that's crazy. I think that's really dope. And then look at that, 3858 on that I just saw on the timer. So that's like a big leap. We were just, the other one just before this was like 110, now we're 20. So look at that multiplication taking place. I'm getting all these shivers right now. So it's like your act is not only going to be good for you, but it's also going to be good for them as well, because they too need to learn and release some type of an energy. So yeah, it's definitely coming to like a situation involving you and somebody else. And what do we have behind that? The unaliving card. Because you know what? This is a transformation. This is a rebirth. This is us getting to a point where we realize, like, you know what? Some things gotta go, man. We gotta kick them out. Like, boot them out of the system, you know, reset. You know, if this is like a program, you're downloading some new software out here. And just look at that, you know, it's the skull. You know, I was just listening to Professor Zhang on predictive history, and he was speaking about how, like, there's this one community that believed that, like, ancient, what is it, this tribe that's like in the Amazon, and how they connect to people using their skulls. Like, if you have somebody's skull, you have their knowledge or something like that, or it's a connection to them. And then we are now using this skull or this information that we have from these experiences or these things that we've been procrastinating, our dreams, whatever was dormant or deemed as, you know, now we are taking this and transforming it into something more beautiful, something more powerful. And like, look at that, a rose emerged from that. And the rose is beautiful, but it also has its thorns. And that, for me, is the balance, you know, the beauty and... What? The Beauty and the Beast? Yes! Ah! Yeah, the Beauty and the Beast. Something else was coming through there. I was getting Pinky and the Brain, but I'm just getting that it's, you know, with the number 2s, like the balance that comes in, you know, Pinky and the Brain, they run the world of the universe together. But it's like, you're gonna find your balance, me and my higher self, me and my dream, you and, you know, me and you, only me, only you. Like, yo, I've got a playlist like that. But again, just realizing that we see ourselves in other people as well, and there's so much to gain and benefit from us realizing that, you know, there's a time for everything, and there's a time to let certain things go so that we can transform. We can take new shape. You know, we can evolve, gang. We can evolve out here in these streets. So let's do the most, you know, from coast to coast, in all areas, from one side to the other, all dichotomies, all polarities, as above, so below. We continue to grow, we continue to flow, we continue to know, and we continue to sow. You know, the boy got a rhyme, hey. But again, as much as I'm saying it, or saying that, there's intent to those words. Like, it's knowing, it's growing. Like, literally all those things are the things that we need to do. And that is speaking to transmutation. Like, you know, that's the cycle. You know, things are born, and then things, you know, they go out of that cycle, and then they come back all over again. So work with the energy, transmute the energy, turn pain into love, you know, turn a negative situation into a positive situation. And that is the power of alchemy. You know, I'm even looking at the timer right now. It was like 42, then was it 24 or 34? But anyways, it's like you can change this energy into higher states, lower states. It's up to you. But I think, you know, just to close this reading, it's like, guys, it's so hard to do the, like, you know, the things that we actually need to do, like being disciplined, following through with plans, not procrastinating. And oftentimes, you know, it's easy to be angry, it's easy to be upset, but it's harder to, like, forgive, to love, to, you know, actually open yourself up in a way that allows you to operate from these higher frequencies. So yeah, I think I'm saying this to say that we need to, like, consider where we can be our better selves, where we can let love lead. And as we do that, you know, we are now aligning with this successful energy, because we have magnetized it, like it was saying over here. You know, we've attracted our desires, we've attracted our success. And what are we doing? You know, we are applying discernment, or reminding ourselves not apply discernment. And then be the sun, be the happiest. I'm just gonna bring this right into you, because the sun is big, the sun is strong, the sun is where we belong. Like, wow. Anyways, we're gonna leave the reading right there. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again on Roots Holistic, the daily spread, where we take the journey within, because we got all the answers. And that's where we are led. Peace and love, gang.